Tonight's broadcast is about to begin. Thank you for joining us on Cedar Creek Media.
This is JD Bird. You are listening to Mabank Sports here on Cedar Creek Media.
It's showtime!
And hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Mabank Panther Athletics right here on the Mabank Athletic YouTube page. As always, brought to you by Cedar Creek Media. Cedar Creek Media is me. I'm Taylor Honey.
And I'm JD Bird.
And we are happy to be here. We're in Kilgore tonight. Little different circumstances for us, JD. It's always fun when we're on the road to find out what kind of booth and stuff we're going to be set up in. And it definitely challenged every bit of our skills to get this one set up here today.
Yes,
but
sir.
dadgummit, we are here, and we are proud to be here with you. Well, folks, as I said, did take a few minutes getting everything set up, getting everything together, so we are running a little bit behind on time, so we're going to go ahead and send you on to Hanging with Hudson, make sure we get the entirety of it in for this last week of the season. So we'll come back, set it up for you a little bit here at Bulldog Stadium right after this. Hanging with Hudson for the last time of the football season.
All right, so got one last one of these, Coach. So last week at Hanging with Hudson for the 2024 football season. So it's been kind of an up and down season. There's been some changes, some things happen. It's been kind of an evolution year, I guess you could say. But again, I guess I just want to start out on this end over here, Coach, just kind of gushing a little bit, just simply about the team that you have. The record doesn't indicate what these guys are. I've seen these kids work. I mean, whether they're up a touchdown or they're down, 30 points, whatever it is, you never see the quit. You never see the stop in this team, at least from up in the booth where I'm at. So I guess that's really more my question to start out with here. So am I wrong on that? I mean, it seems like you've got guys that no matter what the situation is, that they're willing to stand up against a wall and fight it,
Well, and I will give our kids that 100% that until that final horn goes off, they are going to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and we preach it. We've always preached it, and I will say that they have never relinquished that. I've never felt like there was any give at all. I think the record doesn't indicate how good they can be. You're in the little SEC out here, and it seems like, and it gets to the point where you got to get so good doing what you do that any little mistake can kill you, And I think Kilgore found that out when they played Henderson. They had 2 mistakes in the first half and couldn't catch up, and so it just really comes down to that. And as we got better throughout the year. It was a couple mistakes here and a couple mistakes there, and you find yourself behind in a couple games, and you say, well, did you leave 2 or 3 on the table? Well, maybe so, but it is hard not to leave a game on the table when you cannot make one mistake. And so I think a lot of teams are finding that out. But our team has competed. They have the respect of everybody we play. They know they're going to get a battle. Every coach I talk to knows that, when we show up, we might not be the biggest out there, but we are going to battle you until that last horn sounds, and anybody that does that's got a chance to win. And so, I'm proud of our kids for battling and going out there and fighting their butts off and doing it the way they're supposed to be doing it.
Absolutely, and kind of sticking in that same message, again, it's the last game of the season. You're going up against who a lot of people consider to be the best 4A team in the state of Texas. So is there any extra motivation that needs to be given this week, or are these guys pretty well, if they had this one circled on the calendar, like how are we feeling about this week?
Well, when you say could be the number 1 team in the state of Texas, I think you could probably flip a quarter about 4 times to get a different one in our district.
Sure.
So, and it's one of those, geez. And, every time you turn it on film, you're like, oh my gosh. And so it really is amazing, when you walk out there and you see the amount of talent that is on the field. But I told the kids this today. We're out there practicing, and we held it up at the end of the day, and we just say, hey, guys, no better time to play than when someone puts the best out in front of you, because that's when iron sharpens iron, and that's when, as coaches, we get better, as players, we get better. And I know it's fun to go out there and just beat people and all that kind of stuff, but to me, it is more enjoyable to go play Longview Pine Tree than it is to go play a team we beat by 60.
Yeah.
And I would rather play Henderson and play Chapel Hill and just keep getting better and keep getting better and keep getting better. And I understand that people tell you all day long, doesn't matter how better how good you get, because you're not winning. Well, I guarantee you go put about 80% of the state of Texas in front of us, we'll beat them right now because we keep getting better. The problem is that top 5% is in our district, and it is what it is. There's no excuses and all that kind of stuff. But, Palestine rolls out, 2 or 3 D1s, and that is a dang good football team. And they've kind of hit their stride right now and kind of figured out, they got a new coach, kind of figured out where guys fit and stuff like that. And that is a really, really good football team that I think if they would have found that stride week 2 or 3, they would be heck to deal with. And, I think their defense probably might not be as good as some of the others, but I mean, Palestine's a great football team. And so you just start looking at all these guys and what they put on that field and how well they're coached. And you're in awe of how many times it can happen every week after week after week. And so our kids go out there, they battle. But to say, Kilgore circled on the map, I mean, everybody circled on this map, and we take week to week, and we separate everybody, and we put the last one to bed and start the next one. And so that's kind of our motto and how we approach it. But iron sharpens iron, and we're all going to get better. Playing the best team in the state of Texas, let's go. And they're going to put their pants on just like we do, and we're going to go out there and battle and see what happens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, now there is, of course, Texas and the weather. It's always crazy, but there's potential for a little bit of weather on Thursday night. So anything throughout the week that we're working on, particularly anything in preparation of any kind of potential conditions or anything like that?
Oh, we'll water the balls down and stuff in practice and have a squirt bottle out there, and we'll squirt them down every once in a while just to give them a feel for a ball that's got a little slip to it. But to be honest with you, we take footballs in consideration around here. And so we are very adamant about how our footballs are conditioned and make sure they have enough oil in them and stuff like that to repel water. And so they don't get slick. And then, we keep some back that we break in during 2-a-days for games like this that are sitting there ready to go, and they're broke in. And that way we have a slew of balls we have to choose from. So it doesn't bother us too bad. And I think most people do that anyway. So, it's one of those deals you're always prepared for throughout the season, that if you have a rain game, you get about 12 to 14 balls that are ready to go. And by the time they trade them in, wipe them off, put them in some kitty litter and everything else, they're just like handling a great ball no matter what.
Hey, you see, again, layman over here, that's something I never would have even considered. You know what I mean? This is why my team would not ever do anything, because I'd be the guy that's, oh, yeah, we got the one ball. But, okay, so, Coach, again, you're, kind of fighting through some stuff, so I want to get you out of here on this one. But I guess just for the last time for the season, just any particular thing, anything you want to say about the season, your coaching staff, your guys, just kind of your last – whatever to say for the year.
Well, I appreciate all the support everybody's given us. I hate to see these seniors go. They've been with a lot of us the whole time they've been here. So there's 22, and I think we counted 14 of them that have been here the whole time. And so, you hate seeing some of those kids go. You get pretty tight with them, and you get them better than sometimes your own kids. So, I appreciate them, appreciate their parents letting us be a part of their lives and supporting us in that. But more than anything, I hope we've made them proud, and I hope we've put a product out there that Mabank can be proud of, and gone out there and fight tooth and nail, do whatever they can do, And win or lose, we want to make sure we make Mabank proud of us.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you for everything you've done for us throughout the year and being available and coaching these guys and leading these young men to be great young men. And we just as a community, we thank you for all your hard work, your dedication, and again, coming in and doing an interview today, fighting through the sick. I do appreciate you very much, Coach.
Parks Environmental Services, located on 405 West Mason Street, provides customer service-driven experience that counts. They offer erosion control services such as rock filter dams and retaining walls, soil stabilization services like hydro seeding and sodding, as well as construction services such as land clearing and subdivision maintenance. Call Parks Environmental Services, the erosion control specialist, at 214-693-8056. And for any forestry mulching needs, call Right-of-Way Land Clearing at the same number. Again, that's 214-693-8056. Parks Environmental Services, putting it down to protect your ground.
Timeout.
All right! Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All right, so here we are back at R.E. St. John Stadium here in Kilgore. Again, Taylor Honey.
J.D. Bird.
And so normally wouldn't do this, but we are going to ask for a little bit of leniency tonight, folks. I'm going to take you into the booth here. We have got a lot of equipment, and we are in a very, very tiny room with us two big guys. So we are going to do our best to make this the absolute best presentation we can here tonight. But again, it is a little tight here in the booth tonight. So anyway, it is it's kind of a tight crowd over there for Mabank, JD. As I'm looking across, as you see on your feed there now, not a ton making the travel over today, but of course that is slightly excusable for the fact that the nasty weather be coming in over the next couple of days. It looks like it may hold off on us tonight, but you can definitely feel the humidity in the air, JD, especially where we are located. So something going to have to watch out for tonight. Everybody knows humidity can cause a whole excess of sweating and that kind of thing, which can take away your electrolytes, and then you start stumbling around like me now where you can't think. But if you're out there on the field, then it causes cramps and those kinds of different things like that. So two teams with two totally different missions here tonight. Kilgore standing at 7-2 so far on the year and are considered again one of the top 10 teams in the state in the 4A Division I ranks. And then our Panthers, who are doing a little bit of rebuilding this year so far, 1-8 on the year and trying to maybe climb to that 2-8 plateau, whereas again Kilgore trying to build up a little bit of momentum as they are going into the playoffs. Looks like we got the national anthem going on here, so I'm going to step aside for just one moment. We're going to send you to a break because we don't have a great microphone over there, and we'll be right back. All right, sorry folks, again working on a little bit of a different setup here than we're used to And unfortunately, not able to really get many microphones around the area. So normally we can kind of mic it up a little bit better than we can. We're still working on a plan for halftime here. Going to try and sneak a couple of microphones around there before halftime and make sure that we can bring you the band's broadcast as well here tonight. So, and of course, here in Kilgore, they're also well known for their drill team. Kilgore's drill team is kind of well known. Kilgore College has a big-time drill team, and I know that kind of spills over into the high school ranks here. So, but JD, as I was talking about before, two teams that are kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum here. Of course, Kilgore, a traditional power here in the state, they are pretty much always pretty well known. Even if you don't know much about football in East Texas, you do know the names of Carthage and Kilgore here. So those are two highly respected teams, and we've got one of them here tonight. Now, of course, Mabank has got the talent, and again, I know the coaching, or excuse me, that the record and everything doesn't say it, but really you've got a brilliant head coach and Coach Hudson. He kind of understands how the game works at a finite level. So he knows what the strengths and weaknesses of his team are, and he knows what the weaknesses of these Kilgore Bulldogs are. So that's what he's going to attack tonight. Traditionally, whenever you see an opponent that's much larger and maybe has a little bit more firepower than the guys over there in green, you see Coach maybe try and extend things out, try and really use his running game, try and use up as much of the clock as possible to keep things there in the pocket together. You know what I mean? So that's something I expect to see here tonight. So wouldn't expect to see a whole bunch of flash plays, but then again, you know, that's usually when I make predictions, that's the way it goes the opposite of. So yeah. Who knows? Maybe tonight we see Caden Penland come out here, drop 400 yards. You know, you never know. And again, in the situation you're in where you know this is your last game, you're not resting anybody for playoffs or anything like that, kind of opens up for you to do a couple of different things. So we'll just have to see what they decide to go with. Sorry, and I'm kicking the camera. So Mabank going to start with the kickoff here. As you saw, Noah Romero ends up rolling out of bounds and hitting Coach Hudson in the shin there. You know what? Let me double check something here. Make sure. Yep, okay. All right, so yeah, JD, I'm not trying to steal your job, but one more thing to call attention to. Folks, we will have situations where in that corner you're going to get the kind of maybe a corner of that. And over here in this corner, you might get a corner of our booth here or our thing. So we're going to adjust again to try and do as well as we can to avoid that for you guys. But conducive to the space we've got, we're just kind of making it work, right, JD?
Absolutely. I'm going to do my best.
And JD is a great cameraman, so at least he's going to do better than I would, I promise. Might have some JD in the second half. Yeah?
Maybe a little.
Maybe. So, got to give you a present every once in a while. Looks like Mabank going to get a present to start off here as the fall start going to be called against the Bulldogs. So, I'm going to have to figure out.
My camera work would look better if
I'm going to have to figure out
here.
somewhere to stand where I'm not kicking it. So this is going to be the junior quarterback. Brooks flicks one over to the left side. Has a completion that time to, can't quite see the number there, but yeah. Number three, thank you. That is Jaden Sanders, a senior. But yeah, so junior, again, Kason Brooks leading the offense for these Bulldogs. Man in the back with them, number 8, Rayshon Williams, a sophomore. So a young backfield combo. But if I remember right, I do believe Brooks has been starting here for, I believe this is his third year as a junior, so been starting since a freshman year. Oh. Pressure that time gets to him, and a sack brought down there by number 26, the good Rev Neighbors coming off the outside there. Always like to see a little pressure to start the game early, JD.
Absolutely, and this is something that Mabank has been able to do all year long despite their record is their defense is legit.
Yes, sir.
They are not afraid to go out there and hit somebody, and they are not afraid to get the job done when they need to.
3rd and long coming up. Rolling left, surveying. The dart going to be short. Was looking for number 17 there, Takarian White. But Brooks' pass just a little short, and that will be a early punt here for the Kilgore Bulldogs going 3 and out. And again, you did have the penalty, but only able to muster 4 yards on 3 plays. So Got to feel good about the way the defense starts out here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the Mabank defense that we have come to know and come to love.
Can't quite catch a number back there on the punter, but it looks like that is Mr. Foote, the Gavin variety, back to do the punt returning. And that's going to be a muff, still rolling around. And Kilgore going to fall on it deep in Mabank territory. That is number 27, Travis Holmes, able to fall on the ball for the guys in red. As Gavin Foote just not quite able to hang on to the ball that time. Was a little shorter, I think, than he anticipated. Might have even lost it in some of the mist and lights here. But that is an unexcusable play there.
Not to try to hash open old wounds, but I believe Foote had a similar situation last week in their game, so special teams are never automatic. Let's put it that way.
Well, that will send the same crew right back out. And it looks like we have got 4 receivers to the left with the running back lined up still off the line. It's going to be a throw over to that side. So a little screen play in the end is going to pick up, we'll call it right around 5 to 6 yards, JD. But interesting formation is, again, they had the running back, Rayshawn Williams, set all the way out on the left side, but was even with his quarterback. Haven't quite seen that before.
It was a new one for me as well, we'll say. Not a normal formation, I would definitely say.
Hey, Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys offensive guys, watch this Kilgore team. See what they do. Handoff this time goes up the middle and through a couple of arm tackles and easily into the end zone. Rayshawn Williams breaks the goose egg tie and gives Kilgore their first lead of the ball game, 6-0. So, is that 22, JD? Out to kick.
Number 82.
82, thank you. So that is Eddie Jimenez. Left-footed kicker. Snap is good. Kick is just as good as well. So it is now a 7-0 lead early here in the first quarter. Let's see, 9 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, and Mabank going to be getting the ball for the first time.
Should have been for the second time.
Should have been for the second time.
Special team error resulted in Kilgore having a long, pretty much offensive play down the field, so Mabank, for the first time, will be able to send their offense out.
Yes, sir. So, again, JD, tonight is the last football broadcast of the season, but don't fret, folks. We do have more Mabank athletics coming to you over the course of the rest of the school year. Got basketball coming up. Matter of fact, I do believe the first, if I can remember off the top of my head, I believe the first basketball game of the season for the boys is next Friday. 15th, so, yeah, the 15th, and I do believe the girls played last night for the first time. So, it was either last night or Tuesday night for the first time this season, playing against Kaufman. So, got some round ball coming up here, JD.
Some round ball.
So, it is going to be Jimenez out to do the kicking off here for the Bulldogs, still lined up right there at about midfield. All right, and it looks like they're ready to break it off. Who we got back there deep? Let's see. Looks like we've got Foote, and is that? I think that's Wayne Langford back there as well. Yeah, Wayne Langford far right, number 4.
And McCrossan also here on this side as well.
Oh, good. Sorry, didn't see. Yeah, 3 men back deep. And Foote lets it go over his head and into the end zone. So Mabank will be taking over at the 25-yard line. So last high school start for Caden Penland. And quite a few of these other Mabank seniors, of course. Braden Linder, Cam Wilkinson out there, Aaron Roden down there at the center position, as well as a few of the linemen. Well, let's see what they start out with. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. That is Wilkinson trying to find some room. Able to pick up right around 2 yards. So we'll bring up 2nd and 8 here for the Panthers.
9:34 remaining here in this first quarter.
And how smart do the Kilgore coaching staff and the Mabank coaching staff look now for having this game scheduled for a Thursday? Of course, a bunch of teams around the area and the Henderson County area changing their games to earlier times on Friday due to that storm that's supposed to be coming out. This little slip screen this time kind of bounces around a couple of Kilgore guys, but does end up on the ground. So I haven't seen that play that I know of.
I believe that was the first time that they've run that one.
Yeah, it looked like they were just trying to flick it out and couldn't make it work. The timing just broke down. That is Maddox McCrossin coming in off the sideline. So let's see what Mad Max has got here for us. Penland going to hand. No, he keeps. He's rolling, surveying, finds somebody, throws it downfield, and going to be picked, I do believe.
Picked off, yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is a interception on the Mabank sideline for number 16, David McGowan. So not the ideal start for the Mabank offense either. Penland trying to find somewhere to go, finally just kind of threw one, had a couple of men in the area, but played just about as well as you can there for McGowan. Playing two different men and just kind of steps in between both of them, takes the pick. So here come the Bulldogs back out on offense. Handoff going to go right side. Little room, makes through a couple of tackles, and still on his feet. I'm having to call it off your video cast now, JD.
Number 8 right there.
Yeah, but that is Williams again, chugging down close to touchdown territory. Let's see, ball going to be placed, it looks like right around the 9-yard line.
9-yard line, yes, sir.
So, again, JD, I'm counting on you here. Not to put pressure on you. I'm having to call it off of the screen here. So, Bulldogs come set. Snap back, handoff again up the middle. This time, not as – cuts through a couple of arm tackles. So, again, Mabank able to gather around but not bring down the powerful running Williams. Chugs in for his second touchdown of the ballgame. So it will be Jimenez once again out to do the left-footed kicking. Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to act like we like each other, JD, because I'm going to have to come over here and make some calls. So. I still can't see the field goal post, and I'm literally standing behind you. All right, kick is up and good. That may be the 50.
Can't really catch the post there on the camera. Sorry about that camera work, but it was good.
All right, so 14-0 advantage now for the Bulldogs. So quickly here, under what is that? Just over 3 minutes of game time gone. It is a couple of touchdown lead for Kilgore, so Mabank definitely going to have to do that long in the tooth style offense that they want to do against these high-powered teams. I'm telling you, that camera is going to end up on the floor before the Bigfoot over here. These size 13s in this booth are not ideal.
Well, we're standing next to each other, and our shoulders are touching the walls on both sides of this room, so it's not the biggest room for us here.
So again, I know we're we're not Brad Sham, we're not Troy Aikman and Joe Buck or anything like that, but we're normally a little tighter than we are tonight. So apologies again, folks, for a little bit lackadaisical broadcast. This is going to be returned on the right side by Gavin Foote. You can tell he's kind of upset with himself for that earlier muff, running hard. Doesn't get quite to the 25-yard line, but just as close as you can get at the 24. So Penland again going to be leading out the offense. Couple of passing plays there. Of course, one was a short screen. there in the early possession. So, and it was a couple of plays we hadn't necessarily seen before. So it looks like maybe the Mabank coaching staff electing to go with that, throw it at the wall, see what happens kind of deal here tonight.
Deciding to put a little bit extra risk on this one here, as it is the final game of the year. Try to give everybody their due diligence.
Yes, sir. Up the middle that time doesn't work out. It's going to be right to the line of scrimmage there for Noah Romero. No, they actually give him a yard. So forward progress given. Will bring up 2nd and 9 now for your Panthers. All right, here we go. Breaking the huddle. Roden over the ball. Penland coming set. There we go. Now he's set. Takes a snap. Handoff up the middle. Going to be Wilkinson. And not anywhere really to go again there. Or excuse me, that was actually Quint that time. So Quint on the carry, able to pick up. Maybe it was Romero. Maybe Quint was in fullback. Again, apologize. You already know I don't have the best eyes, and we're in this booth, so we're going to see what happens.
Saw right there, Wilkinson into the game, coming to take Mr. Romero's spot here.
Both of these guys are integral pieces of that defense as well, so got to split time on the offensive side as the pitch this time goes left side. Wilkinson feeling and finding some space. He's going to get right to the stick. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just running through a couple of Bulldog arm tackles. And that will be the first down of the ball game here for your Panthers. It looks like we've also got another senior coming in into the backfield. That is Wheeler Ranford. Ranford actually still the leading rusher for this team. It's kind of fallen into a little bit more of a reserve role as the season has gone on, but still on the leaderboard. All right, Penland under center, sends a man in motion, going to hand off. This time it's Foot, running right side, trying to find some space, can't get away. That is a nice job there by Lake Leon Graves, junior defender here for these Bulldogs. Had to chase Foot all the way from the back side and was able to make the tackle for a 1-yard loss. So we'll bring up 2nd and long for your Panthers. Now, there's a few other games going on around the area, so we'll be checking in with scores as well. I know for a fact that Westwood is playing. As this time, Penland going to fake the handoff, Servan trying to find somewhere to go. Nowhere, and it's going to slide down after a 2-yard loss. So we'll now bring up, or excuse me, they're going to give him a 3-yard. No, 2-yard loss. So we'll bring up 3rd and 13 here for the Panthers. So already the 3rd called pass play we've seen here for the Panthers, who, as we know, are not exactly the most pass-happy team that there is out there.
It's nice to see them trying to get some new offense working, though.
So Penland looking to throw again, this time going to throw around the right side. Believe that was McCrossan. Yeah, trying to find McCrossan, but a little too far. But honestly, defender step for step, so probably a good thing it wasn't necessarily too close. And interestingly enough, that is the same young man, Lake Leon Graves, back in coverage that time. So making tackles behind the line of scrimmage and going out in pass pro. Pretty versatile young man. That will send the good Reverend out for his first punt of the ball game. Cam Wilkinson going to be the protector in the backfield. High snap. Neighbor's able to handle it, but it's going to be a high floater that bounces backward. Oh, man. After the punt, based on the original line of scrimmage, that is a net 4-yard punt. Mishit that time by Neighbors. Went straight up in the air and then took a big bounce backwards. So this will now be the 3rd Kilgore possession deep into Mabank territory, and that is not a winning formula against a team like this.
No, absolutely not. They are a high-powered team that once they get going, they're going to keep going, and unless you're able to kind of stunt that in the beginning, you're going to have a long night.
And as you heard in the beginning there, the Kilgore, one of their losses of the year, came against Henderson, and they had a couple of big mistakes in the early going of that ball game, at least according to Coach Hudson, and that was the turn of the game there. So if you can get these guys down and make them make a few mistakes, then, you've got a chance. But when you're the one making the mistakes, it definitely doesn't help. But it does look like there is going to be –
I don't know what's going on with this chain gang right now, but
there was apparently a penalty called against Kilgore, but it was not enough to result in a first down.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have a repunt out of Rev Neighbors here.
I don't think anybody's more happy about that than Rev Neighbors. All right, so has the ball. Much better punt this time. That is a big change and a big break here for the Panthers. Is now the ball is going to be down on the 12-yard line. So, I mean, my goodness, my quick math isn't great. So it's 38, 48. It's about a 55, 56-yard change in field position there for the Bulldogs. But they have got one of those high-powered offenses, so let's see what they can do now, working from deep in their own territory for the first time in the ball game. Of course, got the original possession of the game at the 40-yard line after the Romero kick went out of bounds. Now you've got split backs, 2 men to the right, single left, going to hand off to the left side. That is a different back, and that is going to be a long touchdown on his first touch of the ball game. That is number 17, Takirian White, going to go 87 yards for the long touchdown. And Kilgore going to go up 20-0 early in this ball game. 7 minutes gone and 20 points on the board.
Sorry, him actually going into the end zone was cut off a little bit for us here, but he did score nonetheless.
Again, this is our positioning we were given is not very conducive to doing what we do, but we are trying to make it work. And, JD is trying to give you all the straightest angle he can. I see him over here sweating bullets trying to make things work. And so y'all give JD some love. Let him know down there in the comments section that you're still riding with us. It's not the camera work.
Doing my best here.
No, that's what I realized that didn't come across the way I wanted it to, but I wanted you to know you're doing a good job for what you've got, Bubba. You're doing a good job for what we've got. Now, again, totally up to JD. I gave him the option, but may have JD here in the second half come take over my positioning. So, JD, for, we haven't got to really give a whole lot of our histories, but as we have mentioned before, JD and myself both worked in radio previously there around the Henderson County area. JD kind of got they didn't do much for JD. They just kind of handed him some equipment and said, hey, go over there and go do it. So I'm trying my best to pass off what little knowledge I've got to JD. So he's been, again, right here in front of everybody, let everybody know you've grown a lot this year, man. I can see the progression of you this year. So it has been fun to work with. You're definitely my favorite booth partner I've ever had, and we'll continue on this thing. So there's my one sentimental, mushy thing I'll say all night. There we go.
Oh, man, you make me blush over here.
All right, so here is Jimenez, another deep kick. This time going to be taken by Langford, fair caught around the 10-yard line. So that will bring it up to the 25. And we'll give Mabank their second possession starting from that 25-yard line, I believe. No, maybe their third. Second or third possession starting on that yard line.
4:55 remaining here in this first quarter, so a lot of scoring done already on the side of Kilgore. Mabank still trying to claw their way back into this one.
All right, so it looks like Mabank going to move into the spread offense here. So Penland going to be lined up in shotgun, takes the hands it off to Wilkinson. Going to only get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll bring up now 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. See if they decide to stay in the spread there, if they go back to the wing tee. Of course, it's not, I keep kicking the camera. It's nice to have that versatility. And, of course, the spread, the newer version of the offense here in Mabank, they kind of gone back and forth after switching back to the slot tee, is this time going to be a counter with nowhere to go. Again, wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage is the ball carrier, Cam Wilkinson. So we'll bring up now 3rd and long. So
a familiar adversary for this Mabank offense.
Yes. And you wonder if that's Coach Hudson and Coach Slade just trying to open up the offense a little bit here. At least if they're in the spread, they've got to respect the pass a little bit, which, again, with Mabank, who's such a run-heavy team, if you can get the surprise there, you kind of lull the Bulldogs a little bit. Maybe you can get one of those big hitters over the top to Dalen Gibbs. Penland rolling left, going to throw out right, going to be too high, looking for Braden Linder. That ball sailed on Penland, and it will bring up 4th and long, and once again, the good Reverend out for a punt.
Another very quick possession here for this Mabank offense. Going to give Kilgore their 4th possession already here in the early going of this one.
Yeah, just about a minute and a half taken off the clock, as you said, JD, and that is with 2 runs. So let's see what the defense can do after this punt here. Much better snap this time. Neighbors, another good punt. This one's pretty and spiraling. Going to be walked up and fair caught at about the 41-yard line for the Bulldogs. That was number 16 that time making the fair catch. That is David McGowan. So after a very nice first possession for the Mabank defense, it has been score city for the Bulldogs, scoring quickly on their 3 possessions. Of course, that last one being the longest with, again, number 17, Takirian White, with the 87-yard touchdown off the little wide receiver jet handoff. This time it's going to be a throw over to the left side. Couple of nice moves made, and my goodness, they just can't get him down. Yeah, shaking and baking, only able to pick up a couple, but may have been the most impressive couple of yard run we've seen so far tonight. That was Jaden Sanders, the senior, shaking and baking. Looking like Ricky, Bobby, and Dale out there, you know what I mean? A little shake, a little
shake,
bake.
a little bake.
We'll bring up 2nd and mid, we'll call it 7 yards. This again going to be Brooks set up in the shotgun, and again Williams flanking him to his left. Got Stack on either side. It's going to be a toss out to the right. Working up the sideline. That, again, is going to be number 17, Takirian White, able to get enough for a Bulldog first down and get past the midfield stripe. Matter of fact, they're going to mark it at the 45-yard line. So Brooks has been very accurate so far here tonight. Unfortunately, we're not able to take stats quite like we're usually able to, so I don't exactly have the stats in front of me, but feel like we've only seen maybe 1 incompletion from him so far. This time going to be a handoff to Williams. Williams working through the linebackers, shoves off a couple of Panthers, and there he goes down the sideline. Finally will be drugged down right outside of the 10-yard line by, I believe that was Noah Romero, but we do have some laundry back at about the 35-yard line. see what the Zebras come up with. Going to be holding called against the Bulldogs. So that will negate the big Williams run, but he seemed like he's been able to get just about as much as he wants every time they hand him the ball so far, JD.
Yeah, he is a definite problem for this Mabank defense here early. See if the defense can make a few adjustments, maybe bottle that up a little bit.
So they're going to say the foul occurred past the line to gain. Couldn't think of the term there for a second, JD. So it will still remain first down, but it will be a 1st and 8 as there is a timeout called on the field. So tell you what, JD, why they take a short timeout. Why don't we take a short timeout, and we'll be right back right after this. Hey, Mom and Dad, what's one of the most overlooked safety features in a car? Everyone checks for seatbelts, turn signals, and airbags, but when's the last time you checked your son or daughter's tire tread? K&S Tires and 7 Points cares about your family's automotive safety and offers a full line of quality tires installed by a team of experts to help give you peace of mind as your loved ones drive to work, school, or run errands around town. Stop by K&S Tire today, just south of the light in 7 Points, and let them help keep your family safe on the roadways all year long. K&S Tires, great tires at wholesale prices. And back to it here on Cedar Creek Media. 21-0 Kilgore Bulldogs leading this one here on their home turf. Turf. Did tell you, JD, I hadn't been sleeping well this week. I don't know what the deal is. I'm not really an energy drink person, but I have got one about 3/4 of the way sucked down already over here. All right, so it is going to be, again, Brooks, this time going to be hanging out in the backfield by himself. Going to quickly throw it over to the left side, complete. Working up the sideline there was number 16, McGowan. Able to get close to first down yardage. Looks like they're going to give him 6 yards on the play, so we'll bring up now 2nd and 2. Again, Bulldogs working on a 1st and 8 after the penalty, after a long run by Williams that was negated. Williams going to be set back in the backfield this time. Snap is back. They're going to hand off, and that is actually not Williams. That is a different back, but it's going to be the same results, able to run through several Mabank arm tackles that time. That was number 16, McGowan, able to drive his way down to close to the 25-yard line. They're going to give him the 26, but that is, again, another first down for this Bulldog offense.
Still 1:18 left in this first. Kilgore already about to be threatening another score here early.
All right, Brooks calls out the play, comes set, waiting on the snap. Snap is back. It's time going to survey, go right. Connection again. Going to make it all the way into the end zone there is number 4. That is Lake Leon Graves. That will extend the lead out just a little bit further here for the Bulldogs. Up 27-0 here in the first quarter over the Mabank Panthers. It is again going to be the left-footed Jimenez out to do the kicking. It's going to be a penalty on the Panthers, but I would say Kilgore will probably take it off the kickoff. Yep, encroachment's called, and Kilgore's actually just going to decline it. So it may not actually be a penalty you can assess on the kickoff. It may only be roughing. I do apologize. But either way, it will be an extra point tacked on there for the Bulldogs, now holding on to a full 4 touchdown lead over Mabank, again, in just the first quarter. Got about a minute of action left here in this first quarter. So, hey, it's not too bad yet, JD. You get a stop, you stop them the rest of the game, and then you score 1 touchdown a quarter, you're right back in this thing.
Right back in it.
So it looks like they're having a little bit of a extra long pep talk on the sideline this time before coming out to receive this kick. Now here come the Bulldogs off of their sideline. Looks like it's going to be the same trio of McCrossan, Foote, and Langford going back to do the receiving. It seems like the action has slowed down. It seems like everybody's kind of gone down to a walk down there on the field here for both sides. All right, so this is actually a different young man. It's number 81. I believe it said Isaac Jamaica out to do the kicking this time. So going to be a whistle.
Fair caught.
They're going to say fair caught. Okay. So I guess Foote, just kind of used to calling for a fair catch, may have made the signal and not realize he did because he took off running, but official's going to say no.
If you call for it, you got to stand by it. So whoa.
Wait, hold on. What? He said did not call for a fair catch. I'm not sure what just happened. I think he said did not call for a fair catch. Well, if he didn't call for a fair catch, why was play stopped? And why are we being put on the 8?
I am not sure about this one.
Yeah, we're going to have to do some question asking here pretty soon. All right, so Penland this time slings out to the right, does have a completion, able to pick up a couple of yards. I believe that was McCrossan on the catch. Couldn't quite see a crossover there. Yes, that is. So Mad Max McCrossan over there. Getting some valuable reps here. Again, sophomore, one of the few underclassmen a part of this Mabank team. So getting some valuable experience here against one of the toughest teams in Texas. Going into next year.
Still kind of scratching my head a little bit about that
kickoff
spot.
Very confused.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
All right, so Penland going to be in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands off up the middle. Believe that was Wilkinson on the carry.
Yes, it was.
Yes. And it's so hard that that 5 and that 8 can be very, very similar, and they are very similarly built kids.
And after that play, that's going to be the end of the first quarter, so we're going to send it away, and we will be back with more right after this.
Kylie with Double K Photography will help you never forget all those special occasions, wedding and maternity photos, as well as family and senior portraits, just to name a few. With over 5 years of professional experience, Kylie can transform your wildest dreams into reality with pricing options available to fit every budget. Contact Kylie by email to book today at hello@doubleKphotography.studio or online at www.doublekphotography.studio, where you can also see samples from Kylie's previous works and client testimonials. Double K Photography, a proud supporter of Mabank Athletics.